Buddy. Right now you're gonna see my hand because I don't have a super wide angle lens on this sucker, and I'm just gonna show you real quick how I tune the Toro ESC. I'm not gonna show you the R1 because it's exactly the same rules, same everything. All right, so this guy sitting here is a motor analyzer. Okay, so I always put the motor on here first to make sure it runs perfectly and the timing's where I want it to be. I've had some questions where people are asking me if I change the timing on the motor itself. No, I don't. So I leave it where it is factory. I don't mess with that. But yeah, we'll throw this motor on here. We'll take the C cord and hook it up to this pole right here. We'll take the Bravo or the B and we'll hook it to the middle, because B will always be in the middle on these, except if you've got some different style of motor. Just trying to make sure it sits on here real nice. And then I push the black tube over it so it doesn't touch this guy or this guy. That way we won't have any weird stuff going on and nothing like that. Okay, so A, B, C, usually blue, orange, yellow. And then I have the bullets here, and I'll just steal the power from this beautiful purple chassis that I've built. All I need to do is obviously do the motor, throw it in. Here's the Toro ESC, it'll sit back here. And then there's the power cords to the battery. I've got the 1-up heatsink bullets, which is pretty cool. It's nice to grip and pull the plugs out. And then I have the sensor wire also hanging here. But right now we're just stealing some electricity from here. So plug in the black one, plug in the red one, and hopefully you guys can see this. Kind of. Anyway, so I'll always, I'll try and do it this way. You can do the kV RPM. You can do the motor timing. Whoops, wrong way, sorry. Motor timing. So I'll start with that. You push it in to say yes, and then you push it in and turn it. Oh, but I don't have I don't have the sensor wire plugged in. Derp. Okay, so let's plug that in. What I want is, well, let me unplug it. That way it won't cause some crazy error or anything like that. Sorry boys, I'm in a rush, or boys or girls, whatever. And then I'll plug it in again. So the cool thing about this too, now before I even go anywhere, you'll see the CBA, and as I turn it, if I can turn it, the magnet's pretty strong there. It's CB, B, A, B, BA, and A, and then, it shows you the center board. You can see it is there now. Previously, it didn't have any of these lights because I never had it plugged in. Anyway. Man. So, push to enter, and then push and turn. So now it's checking the timing for me. And I'm hoping it's like 50 degrees or whatever. Oh. Motor timing at 19 degrees. So A is 18 and then 19, 19. So I'll leave it at factory, and then I'll mess with it through the software of the ESC. So obviously unplug this. That way we make sure it's safe. I'm not even going to check the KVs. I don't really care, because I've used these Yokomo motors so much now that I know it's gonna be good, and I can tune it to be stupid, right? So we'll put that sucker away. Put it over there on the floor. Now, all I'm gonna do, real quick, is solder, you know, the 3 wires on, so that I can obviously test this baby and show you how I tune it. I'll show you on the iPad the software and everything, and yeah, let's see if how much we can make it scream. So there, that baby's plugged in. It's nice and snug. I'll turn on the soldering iron real quick over here. Luckily it's just 3 wires real quick. It's not a big deal. Do I have? Yeah, 3 basic wires. Doesn't really matter. Well, I actually have an orange. Now I need a red. Oh, that's the longest red in the world. Let's see if I have a red laying around in here. Yes, I sure do. And a red. Boom. Okay, so obviously I'm going to pre-tin these guys and then pre-tin these guys. These guys are pre-tinned, and I'll put a little bit on here and throw it on real quick. Oh, but I need a yellow wire, man. Yellow. That way you guys can understand, hopefully, who's who in the zoo. So there's Charlie Bravo. Charlie. Oh, I almost knocked you guys over. Let me just lift you up and bring this soldering iron closer. Okay. So here's my solder. Sorry, I haven't even read in the group chat yet. I'm just trying to get this done so I can get you closer to the tuning side of the world. So yeah, I make a nice bubble and then I slowly lift off. Nope, that's not good enough. There you go. So I just make like a little pool. I don't know if you guys can see that. I just make a pool on top of the tabs that I'm going to put the wire to. Come on, baby. There you go. There's a nice big one. I don't want to make it too big because when I tin up the wires, then it's quite a bit of solder that you're putting onto it. Oh, that one rolled right off. That sucks. There you go. I'm sure now I'll take it though. Yes. So the little bit that rolled off, you know, as soon as it cools down, you can just flick it off. Because this surface here, there's no grip for the solder, if you want to call it. So I'll just take the blade and pop it right off. And right there, there's not even a mark to it. Move that out of the way. Okay, so put a little bit of solder on here. I usually try and heat up the wire first. Come on. There you go. So C goes onto C. Now usually when I build these cars for people, I usually make the wire black or so on, depending on what vehicle it is, to kind of make it look neater. Anyway, I usually tug on it just to make sure it's good. Now for Bravo. And why I do that is I flick the excess solder off, just to get it off. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Solder this bad boy real quick. And all you gotta do is move the wire just a little bit so it spreads the heat. And there you go. Wait for it to go dull again. Yeah, that seems to be good. Yeah, that one's good. And then we'll do the blue. I should have done this before, but I wanted to show you the test on the analyzer. And yeah, I guess I could have done it this side, but I cannot hook it to the ESC until I'm off the analyzer. Otherwise it'll push power into the ESC and kind of mess it up. All right. So that guy's on there too. Unplug this guy. Wow. So I'm going to test this with a MX6. Nice price point. Super good radio. Super fast. And you can change the wheel. It's super easy to do. But beyond that, it's got everything you need except for obviously data logging and telemetry and stuff you don't really have time to look at while you're driving right next to someone else's door. Anyhow, so I'll tin these receiving ends. I'll tin them up real quick. Maybe I'll even pull out the sensor wire. It's a lot easier then. So once again, heat them up and throw some solder in there. I usually make sure it's somewhat got solder in there, like not all the way full, because when you put the wire in there, then it obviously overflows and it goes between the two pins or the 2 points, and you don't need that. It takes a while to get it all out again when it's in there. And yeah, I'm just at 400 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, I'm sorry. Let's just say it's hot enough to burn a nice blister into your hand. That's how hot it is. Okay, so those are all tinned up. Now we'll take Charlie or C, the orange one, depending if you're changing the colors though. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll start with A, the blue one. Otherwise you're kind of soldering it over one another. So now I forgot to tin them. So let's make sure I've tinned the wire. And the easy way is to kind of put it on the soldering iron and then kind of paint it onto the wire. And as soon as you do that, it instantly heats up the wire. And then while you have it kind of hot, just place it on there and then heat up the wire, and it starts melting into the cup. And there. So that's already a lot of solder. Luckily it's not touching, but yeah, you got to be careful this doesn't overflow onto that one. That's what you don't want. Okay, and then we'll take the yellow one, which is Brie or Bravo or whatever. And I just put the side of the soldering iron against it, like that. and then I put it on the solder iron, and then I move it onto the wire by painting it over, and then instantly it heats it up. I don't put too much, otherwise I have too much going on, and then it, like I say, it'll overflow into the other cup, or the other, yeah, let's call it a cup. All right, obviously it's getting super hot here, but kind of just bear with it, and then every now and then give it a pull, make sure it's all tight and solid. Okay, and then the orange wire, or C, obviously the last one we need a 10. Oh, come on. There we go, get rid of the excess soldering that I don't want. Otherwise I fill it up so much it touches the other one. And then I'll heat it up. Right. And as soon as it sinks in, like to the same level as the receiving end, I pull my soldering iron off immediately. Anyway, those are all connected. They are connected. Just need to connect the sensor wire to the ESC and plug this into my receiver. Obviously plug these two wires into my battery, switcher on, calibrator, and then I can tune it. So that's what we'll do next. I'm going to spin this bad boy this way, make sure I have the sensor wire lead going in the right direction. There you go, that's all hooked up. I'll spin this way. Gray wire on this is obviously like a white wire or your signal wire, so we'll put that to the outside. Bingo bongo. And then, yeah, I gotta just plug her in and switch her on and calibrate. Right, so that's all plugged in, that's all hooked up. Let me just see if you guys can see this or not. I don't know. Yeah, you guys can kind of see it. I'll move you a little closer though. Hopefully that. Yeah, so if I move all this here, take this box out of the way, put my soldering iron off. Yeah. So that's funny. I only have 2 people watching. Sad. Whatever. Probably only 2 people that's on here right now know me personally, or yeah, or maybe not. Anyway, so my radio is ready to go. I believe it's bound to this. Only way to check is to switch this sucker on. But straight away I'm just gonna bind or calibrate between the ESC and the radio. So you push it on and hold it, right? And it'll make a couple of weird beeps. And then all I've got to do is go full throttle, hit the button, it'll beep 1 green, go neutral, hit it again, it'll make 2 green beeps, and then full reverse or brake, hit it again, and it'll make 3. Let's hope that works. Okay, so. Right? So full throttle, hit that button, let go of the accelerator, hit it again. Oh. And I screwed it up. Alright, let's try that again. I'm probably doing it the wrong way, but anyway. Yeah, something's not right. So, let me just see if the steering is right. There's the steering. Oh, maybe the gas is there. Nope. Nope. Okay, so sometimes on these radios, you have to mess with a reverse. So let's go there. If I go up, it goes to name, and it goes reverse, but auxiliary, throttle. So if I dial that back, Does that help me? Negative. I'm trying to remember how you... So steering is, yeah, normal steering, no acceleration. Let's try this. If I go to, not EPA, but EXP, steering is throttle. Sometimes it wants to be dialed so it can see a neutral safety switch. And then you can calibrate it. Nope, still not. Awesome. Alright, let's just take that back to 0. So, what I will do is go into it and tell it that the neutral spot is this. So, I'll put it off, plug the Wi-Fi module in. Okay, so signal this way. There you go. So now I have this guy plugged in. I'll switch this on. So it acknowledges that this is hooked up to it now. We'll wait for the Wi-Fi guy to light up. And then you can go, if you have an iPad, I'm not sure about Android, but if you have an iPad, you just go to settings, or settings. You go to your Wi-Fi, and you wait for the Sky RC1B33 to pop up. You select it. Yep, it's definitely seeing that beep beep. Anything beep beep like that, it means it's, you know, it sees it. Okay, so now we'll go back and find all my tuning, which is, oh my goodness, where is it? It's right in here. Okay, so I'll turn you guys to that. Wow. So now you go to the Sky ESC link, you hit it. And there it is, and it acknowledges that it's there. So you can go straight to upgrade and just hit apply. Yep, it's applied it. Now, general settings, pre-settings, modified, blah, blah, blah. Here, forward brake, obviously you want forward brake and reverse. Then you go back, you apply it. Anything that you've done, you apply it immediately. Right? Reverse speed, I usually make it to about 40 or 30. I apply it. So now the BSC, I go straight to 7.4 and apply it. And you'll hear the fan now really speed up. And then cutoff voltage, I usually leave that alone. Now we've got to figure out which direction this motor rotates. So, if we go reverse, oh, come on. There, reverse and apply. Let's see if it spins. Negative. There's still no rotation of the motor. Let's apply it. There's still no no seeing the motor between the radio, so maybe I need to calibrate the radio to the receiver and then the ESC to it. Anyway, so this part I'm usually done. I'm happy with that. Punch, yeah, 50% is fine. We can make this moderate and then strong or very strong. Yeah, let's stay with that. And then I usually go in custom and I'll dial this down a little bit, kind of like a curve would be, right? So more chill and then spike. Okay, so I hit OK over there, and then I'll go back and I'll apply all of that. Now obviously brake, you want as aggressive as possible, so I usually go full ham on that. Brake strength, handy, right? Brake rate switch, I usually go, 60 or 50 is awesome. I apply that. Okay, so boost timing. So the rad thing is that you can make this as full ridiculous as you want and then dial your EPA down on your radio if it's too crazy. So I usually go 60. I start my boost at 3,500. Otherwise it's boost from almost nothing. Thanks, Byron. Yeah, dude, get it done. Yeah, so let's say, 3,500. And then here, if you go, sometimes it'll let you, if you go in reverse, it'll go to the highest number. But okay, I guess we're going to have to sit here. 6,000. Let's just go 6,000. That's safe. 60, right? 60 on the timing. The start of the boost is at 3,000 or 35,000, and it ends at 60,000. Right. So that's full crazy right there. Obviously, timing is 60 degrees. How much of a delay do you want at full throttle? So 0.1 or 0.10 of a second is too soon, right? So I usually make this quite deep into it, like 35 is pretty good. How much do you want it to engage, and when it disengages, how much? The start of that boost, at what point do you want it? Oh, flip the wrong button. Okay, so for you to change this, you have to, the activation method, right? So make it full throttle and RPM. Okay, very important. We'll apply that and then change some other stuff. So obviously, the time that you want the boost to start, we'll go backwards and get to the 3,500, which is dope. Right, and then I want to delay this at 50, I think is awesome. Okay, so now everything is ridiculous inside this ESC. Like, it's fully tuned, fully crazy. But for me to show you this live, I need to calibrate this guy to this guy and so on. So what we can do is we can leave this guy plugged in for now, right? Just don't worry about this guy right now. But what I have to do is calibrate the ESC to the controller. So before I even get more crazy than that, I just want to make sure the radio and the receiver are bind up properly. So it's super simple. I switch this off, right? I'll hold this in, switch that on, Now it's flashing, and I'll push the button on top of the receiver, and those guys are definitely bound up. Let's see here. Need more hands. Whoa, now I'm touching the fan. Okay, so I'll switch that off. And I'll switch it on and hold it. Yeah, I don't know why it's not happy. It doesn't want to bind up. Strange. So I've had this happen to me a couple of times, but now I can't remember what I did to sort it out. So maybe subtrim? Let's see. Yeah, it's not even seeing the signal. Come on. Nope, still not. Okay. No. So it's not that. So let's try this. This sometimes kind of helps it. Typical when I want to show a tuning video, the ESC does want to link up. So let's just see. Weird. It's weird also that, well, I haven't set the gyro, so. Strange. Let me try a different sensor wire. Let's see. Let's try that. So, take that one out, that one out. I'll use the Yokomo one that comes with a motor. It's obviously something super small that I can't remember, but yeah, when I have a clear mind, which is probably 1 o'clock in the morning somewhere, then I'll remember. Something super stupid. in there. That's in there. Boom, boom. None of these are touching each other. And I'm stupid. 100%. Just a dumb idiot. Oh my god. Yeah. So it would help if I put the speed controller wire in the right spot for the receiver. That's usually a thing. So yeah. Dumb fuck. Dumbass. God. Okay, so let me calibrate it for real this time. Okay. Anyway, so I should probably put it in here so you guys can kind of get an idea, and then I can show you live if I change stuff here or on the radio what that'll do. Let's do that real quick. I'll just put in one screw real quick. Models everywhere. Let's put in 2 aluminum screws just for now. I'll be back in 1 second. Help me if I have the right screws. Okay. Sorry about that, boys. That's the wrong screws. Take that one. I'll just put the one in for now. And then we'll throw. I'm just trying to get the, there you go, the flat edge up here so I can put the pinion on. Set screws. Get a little handy 1.5. Got tons of set screws. Alrighty. Sorry, unprepared, 100%. Okay, now throw that dude in there with a little bit of play. Yep. Put another button on here. Keep on touching the fan. Oh, I'm gonna miss that. Alright, let me lock that dude. That dude's locked. Now I obviously need to lift it off the ground, otherwise I'll just be doing the fat Bernie. Let's not do a fat Bernie. Okay. So right now, if I go to EPA on the throttle. Oh, okay, I need to move. Whoa. Just want to move that shit out the way. So right, so there's your delayed boost, right? Too much delay. So let's plug this bad boy back in. I don't even turn it off, I just plug it in. We'll wait for the Wi-Fi light to come back on. We'll go to settings on my iPad so long. Wait for it to pop up in the Wi-Fi area. It's flickering here. I'll refresh that. Or just go to Bluetooth and then go back to Wi-Fi. And there it is. Boop. And instantly the system tells you that it sees it. Okay, so now it's still like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure because there's no internet connection to it. And then it's like, yep, it's fine. Okay, so now I go back to SkyRC, the app. And there it's like, yo, I'm in. Now, let's go to the turbo, the full throttle delay. Full throttle delay. Let's turn it down so it's not as delayed. So let's make it 30. Okay? And we apply that. And now we'll test it again. Okay, it still takes too long, right? Like, takes too long. You'll fall asleep before it, like you'll be through the corner before it even initiates. Or initiates, sorry. So now I'm at 20 seconds. I'll apply it. It's happy about it. So that's better. See, the thing is, what I'm trying to do is I don't want you to have an on and off switch where you're sideways and all of a sudden it boosts and it spins or it just messes up. You almost want to get sideways and settle your car in and then go, okay, now I want to go for it because I feel comfortable. And then it'll boost up. Right? Okay, so if we want to have that quicker or faster, why didn't you die? So right now, if I put my hand on it, it's still ice cold. And we've been ripping it, man. Like, it's... we've been boosting the shit out of it. 15 seconds. Okay. So now it happens quicker. Right? And as soon as this guy feels that there's heat, it switches on, and this guy switches on, and it cools everything down for you. Pretty cool. You can make it stay constantly on, or you can have it where if it sees a certain heat, it'll switch on. And that should be, you know, like in your temperature cutoff, right? It's 1 of 5, which is nice and safe still. 125 still safe, don't get me wrong, but that's very close at the point where you're like gonna overheat badly, right? So it'll detune itself until it's fully cooled down, and then it'll switch itself back on and regenerate power and stuff like that. Super cool. Yeah, and this way of doing it is the same as the R1, your Como. All of them are the same. The wording might be a different, you know, a little bit. But all of them have a Wi-Fi module. If it's Hobby Wing, R1, Yokomo, Sky RC, shit. There's so many out there that... But on the end of the day, the same rules here apply for any drift car, or even racing for that matter. But racing, you won't have boost. You can't play with timing because it's called blinky mode, and you know, so forth. Except for if you're driving ridiculous mod class with a 5.5 turn timing to the moon kind of thing. But yeah, my timing, I don't touch it on the motor. I don't see the need for it. All the timing and boost, right, happens between boost and turbo. Both of them have, you know, boost timing and then turbo timing. So on the end of the day, those two work together, you know. And then I just mess with the throttle delay, you know, and then where the turbo would start and what initiates the turbo. Obviously full throttle and RPM, right? So both of those are very important. On the boost program, obviously where the boost would start, you want it the same as where the turbo would start winding up, because then it starts creating the boost. So that's where it starts. It'll be the same on the turbo, right? 3,500, boost 3,500, and then where you want this boost to end. It says 60,000 RPMs, but to tell you the truth, it's way more. Way more, like over 100,000 RPM, depending on how long you stay into it, right? It's just that at 60,000 RPMs, it tapers the boost down. Yeah, that's all it is. So, I hope this kind of helps you guys. I don't know what else I can show you. This car is for a customer, and this is the last piece that I needed to do. So I was like, well, perfect timing. I might as well wire this guy in and hook it all up and tune it for this customer, and then do a video for you guys at the same time. So it's like 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. Pretty dope. So this specific motor is the Type T, right? I prefer the Type T over the Type R because, to tell you the truth, the Type T makes just as much RPMs. The Type R is a high revving. Type T is for torque, right? For outer corners and that kind of stuff. Same casing, right? Same everything. It's just the commutator, and yeah, the commutator is a little different. Like you'll see the wiring is a lot thinner on this commutator, than the torqued one, right? Or the T. Let me see. I'll try and read some of y'all's questions and so on and so forth. But like I say, I hope this video kind of helps one or two of you. Hopefully. Let me see. I recently bought and built a D5 MR. Getting into the hobby. Oh, what? Getting into the hobby. Thanks for your videos. They really helped a lot. Mad love to you too, Noya. And then Byron, obviously super stoked to watch some of the stuff. Bellinghammer, what do you set the motor timing to on the end bell? I don't touch the motor timing on the end bell. Yeah. Cool beans. Anyway, guys, so that concludes tuning on an ESC, right? With a Wi-Fi module. Yes, you get program cards, but it's never going to give you this amount of tuning. It's never going to allow you to do that. Program card is increments. This one's very specific where I can dial, you know, I think per 10 or per 100 or something like that. If you don't have a choice, by all means, program card. But nowadays, all the program cards, you can actually hook through the program card to your laptop or computer of sorts. And then you can really dial in through that. So you're actually using that as your communication between your PC and your ESC. So it's pretty sick. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd just show you this stuff real quick. Mad love to all you guys that gave me the likes and comments and views and so forth. If I don't talk to you before Christmas, obviously have a fucking dope one. Don't let anybody get your ass down. You do you and have a blast doing it. Alright, guys, I'm out of here. Peace!